In a valley where ancient pines whispered secrets to the twilight breeze, lived a gentle soul named Elara. Her cottage, small and sturdy, was a haven of warmth. Inside, firelight danced, chasing shadows across the well-worn rug and shelves laden with smooth river stones and pressed autumn leaves. Tonight, a soft rain pattered against the window pane, a lullaby to the quiet evening. Elara sat by the hearth, mending a tiny tear in a faded tapestry, her fingers moving with a calm, unhurried grace. The air was thick with the scent of simmering herbal tea and the comforting aroma of old books, a perfect cocoon against the vast, slumbering world outside. She felt a deep contentment, the kind that settles in your heart like a warm, purring cat. But then, through the dim light of the rain-streaked window, something caught Elara's eye. It was not a raindrop nor a falling leaf, but a tiny, luminous speck drifting down slow as a feather from the inky sky. It shimmered with a soft, otherworldly light, like a fragment of a distant star. As it spiraled closer, a faint, sweet hum, barely audible above the rain, seemed to emanate from it, a melody of quiet longing. It was unlike anything Elara had ever seen, a whisper of magic carried on the wind. It danced for a moment, a tiny jewel of light, before gently settling upon the damp moss just beyond her garden gate, its light still pulsing softly. A lost piece of the night, perhaps? A misplaced dream? A quiet curiosity, a feeling as soft as spun moonlight, stirred within Elara. This was not a call for grand adventure, but a gentle invitation, a silent plea carried on a hum only she seemed to hear. It felt like a kindness, a small duty, to return what had surely strayed from its proper place. She carefully set her mending aside, her movements deliberate and calm. A warm cloak, her most comfortable walking boots, she gathered them without haste. The rain had softened to a mist, and the world outside seemed to hold its breath, waiting. Stepping out into the cool, damp air, Elara followed the faint glow of the star-petal. Her heart beat with a quiet excitement, not of fear, but of wonder, as she stepped gently into the unknown. The star-petal's soft glow led Elara away from her familiar garden path and into the edges of the whispering woods. Here, the ancient trees, their branches laden with moss and twilight mist, formed a natural archway. The air grew cooler, imbued with the scent of damp earth and unseen blossoms. Each step Elara took felt cushioned by a carpet of emerald moss. The silence was not empty, but full of soft sounds, the drip of water from leaf to leaf, the rustle of tiny creatures unseen, and the gentle sighs of the wind through the highest boughs, as if the woods themselves were breathing in peaceful slumber. The path was dim, but the star-petal ahead shimmered steadily, a tiny beacon in the deepening quiet. Deeper into the woods, the trees grew closer, their canopies weaving a dark, intricate ceiling overhead. But then, a soft, ethereal light began to emerge from the shadows. It led Elara to a hidden grotto where the walls sparkled with countless tiny points of light. This was the glowworm grotto, a secret chamber beneath the ancient roots, where luminous fungi pulsed with a gentle rhythm, casting soft blue-green hues on the moist stone. The air was cool and still, carrying the faint sweet scent of underground blossoms. Here and there, clusters of tiny glowworms flickered like miniature stars, creating a living tapestry of light. Elara paused, breathing in the quiet magic, her spirit soothed by the silent symphony of light. The star-petal paused too, its hum seeming to resonate with the grotto's soft glow. Beyond the grotto, a babbling brook, wider than a mere stream, lay across her path. Its surface, dark and glassy, reflected the few stars that dared to peek through the canopy. But a bridge awaited her, not of wood or stone, but of large, flat, moss-covered stepping stones that pulsed with their own soft internal light. Each stone glowed a faint, warm amber as Elara stepped upon it, illuminating the clear, flowing water below before dimming again as she moved on. The sound of the water was a gentle murmur, a hushed melody guiding her forward. It felt like walking on liquid starlight, each step a soft, magical connection to the earth beneath her feet. The star-petal, seeming to know the way, hovered just above the next glowing stone, beckoning her onward. Emerging from the dense woods, Elara found herself in a clearing bathed in a pearlescent glow, the moon-petal meadows. Here, blossoms as pale as moonbeams carpeted the ground, their petals unfurling to release a scent like sweet night air. These were the legendary moon petals, and as Elara walked among them, she noticed they seemed to hum, a collective soft whisper like secrets shared by the night itself. Some petals brushed against her boots, tingling faintly, as if sharing tiny dreams. The air felt lighter, filled with a delicate magic that tickled her senses. She moved slowly, respectfully, careful not to disturb their gentle slumber, yet feeling an undeniable connection to their quiet, luminous life. The star-petal danced merrily ahead, seemingly invigorated by the presence of its kindred light. As Elara navigated the moon-petal meadows, she heard a soft hoo from a nearby ancient oak, its branches wide and sheltering. Perched regally was a magnificent sleepy owl, its eyes like pools of ancient wisdom, watching her with gentle curiosity. It blinked slowly, its feathers the color of twilight shadows. The owl seemed to sense her purpose, for it inclined its head slightly towards a barely visible path leading deeper into the meadow. Hoo! It cooed softly, a sound of quiet encouragement. Elara understood. It was a sign, a gentle nudge in the right direction. She offered a silent "Thank you," her heart filled with gratitude for this unexpected, wise guide. The star-petal pulsed a little brighter, as if acknowledging the owl's gentle guidance, before continuing along the path it now revealed. Following the ancient owl's silent guidance, Elara found the hidden path, winding through taller moon-petal blooms that reached almost to her waist. The air here became stiller, cooler, and the faint hum from the star-petal grew subtly stronger, clearer, like a distant lullaby drawing ever nearer. She passed a stream, not babbling like the one before, but whispering, its shallow waters flowing over smooth grey stones, reflecting the faint starlight above. Tiny, silvery fish, no bigger than her thumb, darted through the clear currents, their movements like liquid dreams. Elara paused, kneeling by the water's edge, letting her fingers trace the cool surface. It felt as if she was nearing the very heart of the night's magic. The star-petal now vibrated with a gentle urgency, its light a steady beacon, pulling her towards its true home, deeper into the serene heart of the moon-petal meadows, where the air hummed with an almost palpable enchantment. Each rustle of leaves, each breath of wind, felt like a silent prelude to something profound. Finally, the path opened into a breathtaking, secluded glade. In its center lay a small, perfectly still pool, its surface like polished obsidian, reflecting the entire velvet canopy of stars above with astonishing clarity. Around the pool, nestled amongst glowing moss, stood a single, majestic plant, a moonflower. Its stem was thick and silvery, and its unopened bud, larger than Elara's hand, pulsed with an almost imperceptible, soft white light. This was no ordinary flower. It radiated an ancient, gentle power, a quiet magic that seemed to embrace the entire glade. The faint, sweet hum Elara had heard all night now resonated from the moonflower itself, a silent song of longing and anticipation. The star-petal, her constant guide, floated directly towards the flower's base, its own light mirroring the flower's soft glow. As the star-petal reached the base of the moonflower, its shimmer intensified for a moment, then it gently dissolved, not into nothingness, but into a tiny, perfect crystalline seed. This was no mere star-petal, Elara realized with a gasp of wonder. This was a dream seed, a precious heart of the moonflower, cast adrift by a restless night, waiting to be returned. The moonflower, in turn, seemed to lean towards the seed, its unbloomed bud quivering with silent expectation. Elara understood now why she had been called. This delicate seed held the potential for comforting dreams, for spreading peace and serenity to all who slept under the moon. Without it, the moonflower could not fully bloom, could not fulfill its gentle purpose of weaving dreams into the night. With utmost care, her hands trembling slightly with reverence, Elara cupped the tiny dream seed. It felt warm, alive, pulsing with a soft inner light. She gently placed it at the base of the moonflower, nestling it into the damp, glowing moss where the star-petal had first settled. As her fingers withdrew, a magical transformation began. The moonflower's silvery bud slowly, majestically, began to unfurl. Petal by delicate petal, it opened, revealing a heart of pure, luminous moonlight. A wave of profound calm washed over Elara, a feeling of deep connection to the ancient rhythm of nature, to the quiet magic that sustained the world. The glade filled with a soft, ethereal light, and the gentle hum now swelled into a harmonious, silent song of joy and fulfillment. It was a moment of perfect beauty, a simple act of kindness, bringing forth immense magic. From the fully bloomed moonflower, shimmering filaments of light like spun gossamer began to drift upwards, carried by an unseen current of air. These were the dreams, soft and comforting, spreading outwards, beyond the glade, beyond the woods, destined to touch the minds of sleepers far and wide. Elara watched, mesmerized, as the dreams ascended, painting faint, iridescent patterns against the velvet sky. She felt a profound sense of accomplishment, not because she had conquered anything, but because she had listened to a quiet call, offered a gentle hand, and become a part of something truly wondrous. The entire glade now pulsed with a soothing energy, a silent promise of peaceful sleep for all who sought it. Her heart swelled with a quiet, joyful peace, a deep gratitude for this hidden, beautiful secret she had helped to reveal. Elara sat for a long moment beside the newly bloomed moonflower, enveloped in its warm, soothing light. The air was filled with a scent that was both earthy and celestial, a perfume of peace. The stars reflected in the moon pool seemed to twinkle with a renewed brilliance, acknowledging the magic that had unfolded. She felt utterly at peace, connected to the quiet pulse of the night, a tiny guardian of a gentle secret. There was no need for grand pronouncements, no need for fanfares, just the soft, quiet satisfaction of having brought something precious home. The moonflower continued its silent work, sending its luminous dream filaments into the night, a silent blessing. Elara knew her task was complete, and a sweet weariness, the good kind that comes from a gentle journey, began to settle upon her. It was time to return home. With a soft sigh of contentment, Elara rose, her spirit lighter than before. The path back through the moon-petal meadows and into the whispering woods was now subtly different. Where before the star-petal had guided her, now the diffused, ethereal glow from the fully bloomed moonflower seemed to permeate the very air, illuminating her way home. The stepping stones across the babbling brook glowed with a steadier, warmer light. The glowworms in the grotto seemed to sparkle with an added brilliance, as if celebrating the night's gentle magic. The whispering winds through the pines seemed to hum a lullaby of peace, a melody woven with the dreams now drifting through the air. Elara felt a subtle change within herself, a deeper understanding of the world's hidden, quiet wonders. As she reached the familiar edge of her garden, Elara realized she still held something in her hand. It was the small, ordinary moon petal she had picked up earlier in the meadows, a tiny, unassuming blossom that she had almost forgotten. But now, it was not ordinary at all. It carried a faint, comforting warmth, and when she held it close, she could almost hear the distant, harmonious hum of the moonflower. It was a tangible reminder, a small, precious token of her night's gentle journey, a piece of the quiet magic she had experienced. The familiar silhouette of her cottage, with its soft firelight glowing from within, welcomed her back, feeling even cozier, imbued with the magic she now carried in her heart. Stepping back inside her cozy home, Elara hung her cloak, its fabric still carrying the cool scent of night and dew. The fire had settled into glowing embers, casting soft, dancing shadows. She made herself a fresh cup of tea, its warmth spreading through her hands. As she snuggled into her soft bed, the moon petal tucked safely beside her, a profound sense of peace enveloped her. The journey had been quiet yet full of wonder. She closed her eyes, and the images of the glowing grotto, the whispering meadows, and the luminous moonflower danced gently in her mind. Sleep came easily, a deep, restorative rest, filled with the sweetest, most comforting dreams, dreams woven by the very moonflower she had helped to bloom. And in her dreams she hummed a soft, gentle melody, a lullaby of starlight,